All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Wohlers Walt, and welcome to the last live stream of 2019. I really can't believe the year is almost over, but you know what? It is. By the way, let me know what you guys think of the new studio setup here. Got some like little glowy lights over here. Also, let me know how the sound is for the microphone. Let's move this over real fast so I can see everyone's going over here. But last year, I gave 5 predictions on what I thought was going to happen for 2019. You know what? And I thought it would be fun after getting a couple comments about reviewing the collaboration we just did at the end of next year for 2020. Thought it'd be fun to see how I did in 2019 for my predictions for this year and see if any of them came true. Also, I'll be doing Q&A at the end of this as well. Be sure to ask your questions because really, that's why I do these live streams. I love interacting with all of you here and answering your questions. It's just a great way to, just interact with everyone here. So also, I'll be giving some updates on what I did for channel goals in 2019. So I gave a couple of those last year as well. I'll give you an update on those. But anyways, if you're new to this channel is all about credit card rewards, and showing you how to use your points and miles to travel for less. So something that interests you, consider subscribing and turn the bell notification on as well. Also, consider giving the video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. But you know what? Let's get into it. My first prediction I had from 2018 or for 2019 was that Barkley was going to re-enter the flexible currency market by adding partners to the Arrival Plus and to the Uber card. And that wasn't even close, not even remotely close. The Arrival Plus isn't even available to be applied for anymore. The application's been pulled. Uber card, they basically sacrificed it to the sock drawer gods because it is a non-player, I really feel, in the credit card market now. This one for me was a huge miss. But you know what? Barkley had talked about adding transfer partners to this Uber card at one point in time when it was released. But you know what? They decided to go a completely different avenue on this, and that didn't happen. And I really thought that the Arrival Plus would try to take on Capital One and add transfer partners to that card, as well as being flexible currency as well. So far for predictions of 2019, I'm 0 for 1. Prediction number 2 was that basic economy awards were going to expand and American Airlines was going to add premium economy awards. And for this one, I get like a 50% credit on this one because we haven't really seen basic economy awards expand as of yet. Delta did roll them out to pretty much all of their routes, but really we haven't seen this from any other airline yet. Sure, the portals do offer more of an opportunity to purchase basic economy fares. But we haven't seen this actually happen on award flights from programs yet. American Airlines just started rolling out, American Airlines has expanded their web specials. United just recently went dynamic. So it might be too early for this to occur. I do think this does happen in the future, just clearly not in 2019. But American Airlines did announce premium economy award flights on their metal as well as their partners metal, which I was predicting from last year. So while basic economy awards on Delta did not, or while basic economy awards expanded on Delta, other airlines didn't adopt this. So I'm going to give myself half credit here. So I'm currently sitting at half a point out of 2. Prediction number 3 I had. Chase Ultimate Rewards, or Chase was going to reduce the ability to pull your Ultimate Reward points. And this one didn't happen either. And I'm actually really happy it didn't. I'm sure many of you are happy with this as well. But Chase had sent out surveys to people asking questions, which led to this prediction by myself. I'm happy I'm wrong here. Doesn't mean they can't do it in the future. I feel like Chase is always doing something in the background, just trying to not want to say reduce the value of our points, but try to make back some money they've lost on that Chase Sapphire Reserve still. Now, Chase did shut down some accounts. I think David over Wiseflies posted a video on this one, on what Chase was doing. 524 went out to all their cards. And in 2019, we didn't see them restrict pooling or even adjust transfer ratios, which was one of the rumors that they were going to be doing. This could happen in 2020, but I get no credit here. So far I'm at a pitiful half credit out of 3 predictions. Prediction number 4 I had, dynamic awards were going to expand. And you know what? I get full credit on this one because I did say this was going to happen. Both American Airlines and United went full dynamic on their award pricing, and other programs like Aeroplan said they were going to be moving dynamic for US-based flights on partners such as United in 2020. And we're just slowly seeing this expand. And I think this keeps happening just because for so many people, it is so hard for them to get good value or even know how to use their points and miles. they don't even know where to look, or they're just using their points not knowing how to get the most value from them. And sorry. And I'm going to get back into the award booking demonstration stuff for 2020. I know it's one big thing a lot of you guys like to watch. But doing a video a day in December, that made things a little bit difficult to really commit the time to doing all that research for those videos. And while doing side note, while doing a video a day was pretty fun and a great challenge for myself, I don't feel like it was beneficial for me in the sense I didn't get to interact with you as the same way I did on my normal routine. Plus, I wasn't able to go deeper diving into the award travel stuff, which I really like to do. So, and that stuff just takes a lot of time. I know I get requests saying, hey, you should do more award booking travel stuff, but I just don't think sometimes people realize how much time that takes with all the research and the background stuff that needs to go. I mean, I could do a really crappy job and just give you the first flight that comes up, but I don't feel I'd be doing my job sharing that with you or teaching you how to use your points more efficiently if I'm not doing my due diligence. But since there were more programs moving dynamic in 2019, I get full credit here. Now we're sitting at 1.5 out of 4. And prediction number 5 I had was that credit card bonuses were going to change. Now, I gave 2 possible scenarios here on what they could change to. One was a tiered bonus. And we actually did see Chase roll this out to cards such as Hyatt, United, and even Southwest. Capital One did this with their Spark cards on their higher end, on their higher, bigger bonuses. The American Express did this for their business platinum, as well as for the blue business cash. And what we were seeing was that you would get one tier after spending so much money, and you'd get even more bonus points after you hit a second tier of spending. For Hyatt, it may have been, or I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like spend $2,000 or $3,000, get one level of bonus points, hit the next tier, which was like $6,000 in total spend, you get an additional set of points. We've seen that with the Spark cards as well. And I really thought that was going to take off because it made you want to use the card to get those points. It gave the banks more interchange fees. It seemed to work out for people. Chase it rolled out, and they keep expanding this. They might do more of this. We'll have to see. The option 2 I had, which I thought we would see more of because I thought it would be better for the banks, was a smaller upfront bonus, but them giving us incentives on the back end. Now, and what I mean by this was if you remember the atrocious card, the Arrival Premier that Barkley just released. They pulled it not too far long after they did it because it was just a flop. They were giving a bonus on the back end when you spent so much money in a calendar year. And I really felt this is where banks would have been more successful, or where they would potentially be going. Because one thing that we're seeing people do is they open these cards, they get the bonuses, and they sock draw them, right? So this here was an incentive for people to spend on these cards and earn extra points while the banks make money and people feel they get value from it. But that just didn't happen. Fortunately for us, unfortunately, I'm not sure. As banks really tighten up in reducing abilities to get bonuses, we're looking, 2, 3, 4, lifetime of getting these bonuses. Getting that back end bonus may not be the end of the world for us if you really think big picture here. Because 2020, if you watched the video from yesterday, a lot of it, and I've gotten some comments that it was more negative, but if you just look at the current trends of credit card companies, I doubt they're going to be loosening up. It's just getting tighter out there whatsoever. But for 2020 or for 2019, my predictions really weren't that good. I got a total 2 out of 5 total. Give myself a couple half credit points in there. I guess it's good I did really bad, though, because I was wrong on my predictions that could have been most detrimental for people. So, and that could have just been bad. I mean, could you imagine if Chase reduced the ability to pool and I was right? Like, trust me, I'd rather be wrong on that than correct. And then quickly before I get to some Q&A, be sure to ask your questions. Really, this is why I do these live sessions, is to interact with you. And I really enjoy this stuff. So, as for my channel goals, I had 2 goals last year. One was to be able to post consistently twice a week. And I think I nailed that one out of the park. I consistently post anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And in December, I've done, today will be video 33 for the month. So I definitely nailed that one without a doubt. It lets me know that, I can handle 2 to 3 videos a week without a problem. The other goal I had was hitting 10,000 subscribers, which I fell pretty short on. I'm just over 5,300, I think it is. So maybe in 2020, I'll hit that mark. I'm not exactly sure. I can't control it. I've really stopped. I really don't try to look at that number too much. All I can control is the content I put out and trying to put out the best content possible to help people out. That's what we keep doing. If the subscribers come, great. If not, I appreciate all of you being here, interacting, watching, supporting the channel. But those are my two goals for there. I guess if I want to give myself a couple goals for 2020, I would like to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. And the other one I'd like to do is, do more award bookings for people and kind of grow that, because that's something I think I've just seen a lot of people not be able to handle and understand. And I see other channels try it, and I'm not saying that I think some people aren't as in depth in the award booking side as the credit card earning side, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like I'm relatively decent at the award booking stuff, and I really want to try to help you get that. I get that in a lot of your emails and the award booking demonstrations, and I'm really gearing up for 2020 to help you all out for that, because that is really a passion of mine outside of the credit card stuff. I know, like, in early 2020, I'll do a video on like how much money YouTube paid me. That's kind of a big thing, but also give you a look and kind of go into some deeper details. But like the reason I think the reason why I don't think you see other YouTubers do award booking stuff as much is it doesn't draw the views. If you were to look at a credit card video compared to an award booking demonstration video, credit card videos do exponentially better than award booking stuff. But really, it's about value, and I feel like people get value out of those award booking videos. So that's something I really like to do, regardless if it's fewer clicks, although it does take a lot more time, because I just want to help you all travel for less. That's really what the whole premise of this channel is. And I think I've done that a few times. But all right, enough sappy stuff. Let's get into some of your questions. All right, let's see. Oh, got some stuff going on here. Let's see. What's going on, Scott? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. I hope all is well, man. Let's see. Christina says, happy holidays. Is there any chance we could talk a little bit about American airline miles? Is it still worth getting after the new redemption chart? Christine, I do think it's worth getting. I think when you look at the partners here in the U.S., you have, Delta, United, and American. They've all moved dynamic for their metal. One thing, though, that we're seeing them do is offer these web specials, these lower cost fares, and that's kind of the double-edged sword we see with with dynamic pricing. If you were to look at that San Francisco award booking video, or for myself, I did the other day, I scored some great deals out there. We saw American Airlines are out to San Francisco. American Airlines had that flash sale of 5,000 miles one way to Auckland, New Zealand. But you also know the great value for American Airline miles is on their partner airlines. So I do think they're worth having. I wouldn't get them right off the bat, and I would be, just let them sit in your bank. They're always good to have, because when that deal for Auckland came up, I had like 2,000 miles on my American Airline account, which meant I needed to get more miles just to sit on the opportunity, just in case, because if you don't have them, you miss out when these good opportunities come, just like Delta miles. But I think they're worth getting, not early on in the game, definitely in the later game though. Lionel, how you doing? Happy holidays, man. David, I'm great. How are you doing? Happy holidays. Great thanks for tuning in today. Let's see. CJ, what do you think of the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Bank of America Premium Reward Card? I'm assuming you're meaning the Premium Reward Card with the 50,000 point bonus. I think for most people, CJ, I think the Chase Sapphire Preferred will be better in the sense it's flexible. You get the bonus is bigger. The ability to transfer out your points, the 1.25 cents per point for the travel portal. The Bank of America Premium Reward Card, while it is a 50,000 point bonus, it's $500 cash. It's not worth. You don't get any extra points for transferring, because you can't transfer them out or even redeeming them a certain way. The exception would be for consistent earning rate. If you're part of the Preferred Rewards program, maybe a Platinum Honors member, because you do get that 75% increase in credit card spend rewards. So, and it has that $95 annual fee, which you get the $100 airline credit. Yeah, I'm actually reviewing that card relatively soon as well, so let's stay tuned for that one. But I think for most people, the Sapphire Preferred is going to be better off for them. What's going on, Armando? How you doing? What's going on, Fernando? Happy holidays, everyone. Let's see. Poophead, I say every time you're in this live stream, man, I love your name. What's up, Waller? Thanks for your tips. Just hit my sentiments on the Chasing Preferred. Congratulations, Poophead. That's a fantastic bonus. What do you plan to do with those points? Let's see. Key says, I'd love for you to do a live showing your process of one of the future live booking demos. You know what? I think I can do that, Key. I think when I do one of my award booking demonstrations, maybe I'll do it live and do answer questions at the end of that as well. I haven't done those in a while. Sometimes the internet or not the websites go really slow, so it's been a little bit easier to do them, to do those while just filming it. But that being said, I think it would be great to do that live. So I will do that for 2020. I'll try to do a few more live booking demonstrations just so you can get the real-time talk. All right, let's see. What's going on, Charles? How you doing? Do you think, I hate when YouTube does that. Let's see. Do you think they're going to revamp the platinum card? Are they really going to come out with a card between the platinum and the black card? Charles, I think they will do something in 2020. I think there's a lot of talk from people in the credit card niche, if you will, how 5x on airfare is great, but the credits are harder to use. If the Sapphire Reserve makes some sort of adjustment and an improvement, I think American Express really has no choice but to make some sort of improvement here. It's not a great daily spend card. I know that's not their target audience. It's more so for the benefits. But I mean, when you look at the card itself, you can get priority pass lounge access from other cards. I mean, Visa and MasterCard are better because you can still get the restaurant access. If you're not someone who flies Delta, well, it doesn't really matter if you get Delta Sky Club lounge access. Centurion Lounge is great, but there's only 8 currently open right now. And my prediction is, I think they will come out with that middle card, which what Credit Shufu calls the gray card. I think he called it. I do think that, and I think if that happens, we're going to see Centurion Lounge shifted from the platinum card up to that, and you might have like a two Centurion Lounge access passes a year. I don't think it's going to be unlimited. I think they're going to look for a way to reduce that crowding that has been talked about. So I think that's going to be happening at some point. Do I also think they're going to redo the Sapphire Reserve? That's an interesting topic, because do I think they need to? Yes. Other banks keep making it to where they don't really have to. The thing is, while we can complain that 3x on travel and dining isn't enough, it's easy for people. Chase has a great ecosystem. I think the Chase partners are eroding. I've said that before. But you get great travel protections. Triple points on travel and dining. The Platinum card doesn't give you triple points on dining. You have to get another card. 4.5% if you redeem to their travel portal. The transfer partners they have, such as Hyatt. So, do I think it needs to be updated? Yeah, I would love to see it be updated. But with Citi pulling back on travel protections and American Express adding it, but only on round trips, Chase is still in the prime spot with this card, although I think it would be great for a refresh. I'm really not digging the rumors, though, of a $550 fee with a credit. I'm just not a fan of the credits. They're not worth 100% to me. They're worth a portion. And with Chase, I think they're sneaky about it, because what they do, if you were to look at like their dining or their travel credit, you don't earn points on that. If they were to add another credit, let's say a dining credit. Let's just say dining, okay? I have a feeling they're going to say you don't earn points on that $200 dining credit you get. So by them doing this, I think it's smart, because if let's say 100 people spent that $200, 100. Let's just say 100 people did that. That's what, $2,000. Yeah, to $2,000 on those 10 people, right? That means that saves them 6,000 points. You extrapolate that to the number of Sapphire Reserve holders. Chase saves a lot of points by them reducing the ability to earn points on that first couple $100 of that credit. Smart by Chase, bad for us, and I think people overvalue that. That's my prediction on that one there. All right, let's see. Let's see. Ben says, "Is that the Blue Yeti?" I have something. Yes, Ben, it is the Yeti Blue mic, or the Blue Yeti mic. I like it a lot. I've had to adjust it quite a bit. Let me know down in the comments if the sound quality is good. I feel like it's hit or miss sometimes. I did move my desk. I have my sound tiles right over here, so like it should reduce that echo. But I like it. It's a really good microphone, and it was well worth the investment. Let's see. What's up, Reckless? How you doing, man? Samuel, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. After you get all the major sign-up bonuses, what should you do? CJ, I think that's a pretty common question I get. And I think what I always tell people is once you get past the Chase, American Express, City cards and setups and bonuses that you want, it really then becomes about being more selective and kind of more picky because there are a lot of credit cards out there, but not all those credit cards are going to help you. I think I get a lot of requests. Someone saying, "Well, I opened this card. I really would like to go to Asia with it." Unfortunately, though, that card doesn't really help them. So I would really say once you get beyond the big cards, be opportunistic for your bonuses, but also look at what cards get you to that at endpoint. So then just working backwards. That's really going to give you the most success in this game. I could say, just apply for the biggest bonus, but that may or may not be the best option for you as a whole. Definitely once you get past those, have the goal, work backwards, and be opportunistic for those bonuses, especially as we see banks really tighten up. Let's see, Reckless, should I product change my CSP to the CSR or wait? I also want the Hilton Aspire. Let's see, what would you be waiting for, Reckless? You waiting for a bigger bonus, like to get the bonus again? If you're going to be traveling a handful of times a year and you don't have a card that gives you lounge access, maybe you want better travel protections, or you use the Chase travel portal, upgrading it wouldn't be a bad idea. You can still get the bonus in the X number of years afterwards, whatever you're sitting at for time frame. Just downgrade it to a Freedom Unlimited, wait about 30 days or so, and then reapply. Also, you want the Hilton Aspire, or should you wait? The Aspire is a great card. I think you can still get, I believe, with 150,000 point bonus, offers a ton of benefits. I think it is probably one of the more valuable cards of 2019. I would go for it. If you're under 524, you could still go for Chase cards, but if you're on the fence and you're looking at this card, I think it offers great value. What other card gives you top tier hotel status? None of them. Let's see. Christine says, your channel is great. Keep up the way you're doing. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate the kind words. All right. Samuel says, yeah, I think Chase will update their ultimate reward cards. They've been lagging, so it makes sense they'll step up their game. Maybe $550 for the reserve, 4x dining travel, and a dining credit. That would be a pretty interesting play, Samuel. The dining credit, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the dining credits or the credits in general like that. It's not 100% to me, but I do see them raising the fee to $550. It just makes sense. I think we're going to see, annual fees just increasing and them adding these credits kind of offset it. It just seems to be the trend they're doing. I'm not sure if I see 4x on dining and travel at that 1.5 cent per point redemption value. But maybe they do, or maybe they do. That would be fantastic. That's basically like a 6% minimum return for your travel. I could see them do it. I could see them doing something along those lines. Maybe with that, I think maybe it would have to be the portal redemption value might shift a little bit to do that. Shamrock says, good evening, Shamrock. How you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. Charles says, do you think JetBlue will start a new contract with either Citi or American Express? The reason I ask, I don't like Barclays very much. I don't think so. I think that they left American Express a few years ago. I think they're going to stick with what they're doing. But while they're partners with Barclays for their co-branded credit cards, Citi, American Express, and even Chase all transfer over to JetBlue. So you have no shortage of points to earn. But even then, I would really look at how you use those points, because for coach flights for JetBlue, they're worth about 1.4 cents per point, and for JetBlue Mint, they're worth about 1 cent per point. So utilizing a card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve through the portal for JetBlue could potentially be a better value for you than using a JetBlue credit card or redeeming JetBlue miles. But getting a Barclays card for the bonus would be good, but I'm not sure I see it. I haven't, maybe they will, but I just don't see it happening right now. Let's see. David says, all right, let's see. I hate when YouTube does this thing where it shifts all my comments. Let's see, David, what do you make of Avianca's shutdowns? I've been reading in Puerto Rico banks have been closing people's accounts left and right. Somebody don't want to pay out on the sign-up bonuses. That bank is very interesting to me, and I think that I've read some on it that they've approved cards for people who couldn't verify addresses, or they're just shutting down cards. The bank itself has historically been hit or miss for people. My wife and I have it. We haven't been shut down, so far. I'll have to keep looking into it, but I feel like they approve people, but then like retroactively denied them. Barclays done something like that with their business cards where they'll approve you, but then ask for a bunch of paperwork. But I would say it seems unfortunate that they're doing that. Key says, when you use the gold American Express Gold Card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve for a food place, do you get 4x? Let's see, when you use American Gold for at a food place, do you get 4x, 3x in addition to the United miles? Are you meaning if you're using like a reward program, like the Dining Rewards program, Key? Because if you're signed up for a program, the Dining Rewards Network or the Dining Rewards program, Dining Rewards Network, and you were to utilize that and have that card registered, when you ate at that restaurant, you would earn the United miles, whichever miles that you signed up for, plus your credit card reward miles. So, but if you were to use an American Express Gold card, you wouldn't get 3x United miles. I'm assuming, though, you're talking about the Dining Rewards Network. All right, let's see. We love your work. Keep them. Please do it. Yeah, Christine, I'll be picking back up on those award demonstrations in 2020. It's just been the video a day is just taking a lot of time. I don't know how Sebi did that for so long because it's just a time suck. And trying to put out stuff and think of things that are either different or give more value as opposed to just like a bunch of fluff stuff. Like, I don't know how he does it or how he does it. But that my hat's off to him for that because it definitely is a grind. Let's see. Sam says, Chase Sapphire preferred in Freedom Unlimited. Also need an update. If the Freedom became 2x, like the double cash, that would be solid. Samuel, I would agree with you that it would be solid. The one thing I think, though, that Chase has going for it is still that the reserve is that 1.5 cent per point value. You know, the Prestige, they knocked it down to 1%. The Platinum card, you need the Business Platinum to get that 35% rebate. You don't get it up front. So the reserve still offers that value. I think once we start getting into upping these, if let's say the Freedom would go to 2x and they increase the Sapphire Reserve, you would have to think they would reduce that portal value because there's just no way I think they're going to give you 3% on that for basically, 3% from your Freedom Unlimited to the reserve or 6 or 7% for that. It seems too high. So there's going to be a give and take, maybe a higher bonus or higher earning rate, lower portal redemptions, maybe a reduction in transfer ratio between cards. It may happen. It would just seem really, there's a give and take. If they give us extra, they're pulling something away. I think it's just how it's going to work. Let's see. You have great videos. Love what you do. Any thoughts how to get out of the no American Express penalty box? Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Jeff. I appreciate you watching the channel. What it seems to be, if you have American Express cards and you aren't using them, put some spend on these cards. That's really big on them. If you're just kind of stock drawing the cards, American Express is getting more difficult there. That seems to be helping some people in doing that. Do it for a month or two and then reapply. But unfortunately, it seems to be part of their algorithm, what they're doing. But it's just going to take time. Definitely use your American Express cards, though, if you have them. And that seems to be a pretty common complaint or a pretty common theme with them. Let's see. Do you recommend a certain amount of miles sitting in your account, for example, when American Airlines or Delta have a flash sale? And what would that be? Key, I don't ever necessarily recommend having a certain amount on hand. I do typically tell people, have a plan with your miles. Flexible currency is really where you want to be. Just gives you more options, more potential to redeem those points, which is really good for you. But I always like to have some miles on hand in other programs just in case something comes up. It could be the 6,000 miles cross country. So, 12,000 miles round trip for somebody on Delta could be good. I do keep certain miles there. I don't have a finite number for people because it all depends on what you need. A family of 4 are going to need more miles than a single individual. But I do say, because Delta United miles no longer expire, it doesn't hurt to have miles sitting there for an opportunity when it arises. I think I'll have 75,000 American Airline miles myself. I think I have 3,000 in my Delta. Actually, no, I just cashed them in. I have 100. I think I have 200 miles in my Delta account. But I can just move them over from my American Express account if need be. But it's all going to vary. But yeah, I would have some just in case. Let's see. How many premium reward cards of $150 or more do you and your wife have? I have the Altitude Reserve. She has the, oh no, we got rid of her Hilton Aspire because of the annual fee. I have the Hilton Aspire, but they only charge me $95 a year for it. So I guess like it is a $450 card, but I only pay $95. Yeah, I have what do I have here? I think for the premium cards, I just have the Altitude Reserve right now. That's really the only big one. I have and I have like a rant video coming out because it really failed me. If you follow me on Twitter or even in my Facebook group, I posted I mentioned how it just failed me on an upcoming award booking, and people felt like I left them hanging with that clickbait. But the video has been shot. It's going to come out next couple days of how it failed me, and I can say like I'm reevaluating my relationship with U.S. Bank on this. But that's the only one I have that's $450. So let's see. Where did it go? Let's see. Why do you feel the Aspire will get nerfed? The Aspire and Surpass both seem like great setups for both for hotel and customers. They seem like they seem like a keeper that people will actually put spend on. You know, Samuel, I think that the Aspire card offers oversized value. Like I hope it doesn't get nerfed. Don't get me wrong. But when you look at people who, let's say, travel for work or people just applying for the card, when everybody has a benefit, nobody has the benefit, right? So Hilton Diamond is fantastic. Like I've gotten some great use out of it. Hilton has been amazing to me. But when everybody else has Hilton Aspire credit cards, we're all Diamond members. So we're all wanting that upgrade, right? We're all wanting that upgrade. We're all getting that Priority Pass lounge access. We're all getting these benefits. And I really think if you look, I just think is because so many people have it, they need to kind of thin the herd at the top. You know, your true road warriors who earn it by staying in your hotels. If you're competing with me and I have the credit card and I get it just for paying the credit card, sure, they can do that as well. But I think there's not that true loyalty to the brand. And no other hotel card gives you that. You know, I don't hope it happens, but no other hotel credit card gives you that level of status, which then you can take that and match to other hotel statuses. So it really opens up the door for people to do a lot of things. But I mean, yeah, you could put a lot of spend on the card. The one would probably be, for me, I think if you're going to put more spend on it, the Surpass card actually isn't terrible for daily spend just because you get that weekend certificate after you spend $15,000 in a year. Let's see. Do you see, hey Mansoon, how's it going? Do you see more issuers adding a clear benefit in the future? It would pair very well with global entry and TSA pre-check. You know, I could see people adding this because it might be like the new hot benefit. But just like with TSA and global entry pre-check, you know, American Express added this to their Clear card. You know, you could see this adding it to maybe their Platinum card as well. And Chase maybe slowly adding it. I think it could be a new hot benefit that everyone will eventually roll out to where everyone has it. The other thing I'm thinking of, especially with American Express, is how are they going to keep rolling up this Lounge Buddy partnership that they bought? We see it with the green card, get a $100 Lounge Buddy credit. Could we, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but could we see American Express withdraw themselves from Priority Pass lounges and do something with this Lounge Buddy partnership and give more credits there, which would definitely be more unique than the Priority Pass lounge access? We already see them pull, you know, the restaurants they no longer do, but could this happen? I don't know. That would be very interesting to see, and it would be something very American-ish to see them do that. Let's see. Do you have any predictions for American Express, Chase, and Citi Trades Partners additions? What additions could you see making a big splash in 2020? I think one of my predictions for 2020 was that Chase was going to sit idle with their reward program. I really believe that because I just don't see them doing much with that award program. The value of their points are eroding, and if they add anybody, who are they going to add that makes it unique? I just don't see it right now. I'd like to see them add someone unique and really improve the program there. But I mean, if they add an Avianca, well, that's great. I can get that from Citi and from American Express. The big one, I think, that for me, that what someone would go after is like a Japan Airlines or Korean Airlines. Those would be really big to go after. I don't think Chase is going to get that relationship back with Korean Airlines after it was severed a few years ago. But I think that would be great. Citi. I mean, I don't see them making a big splash more so. Japan Airlines would be a good one. Agent did just devalue their program, but there is still value there. Those would be the big ones for me. I think those are kind of the big program ones there. One prediction someone left a message on, I think when I asked it, they said Bank of America gets into transfer partners. And that would be very interesting to me if that actually occurred, because Bank of America has the co-branded relationship with Alaska Airlines. Now, that would be a big one for any bank to get because their points are so valuable. But if Bank of America were to roll out make their points more flexible currency and transfer out and had Alaska Airlines, boy, Bank of America would move up the charts of people like crazy amounts. And Bank of America would see more money dumped into their accounts because they are tightening up in the fact that they want people with relationships in order to get to get some of their credit cards. Let's see. Pupa says, I'm looking to book a round trip to Japan late in October of 2020 using transfer partner Virgin Atlantic. How early do you recommend booking the flight? I would look very early. I would keep looking now, and I would look every day until you find the flights. One, you're looking to potentially use Delta or ANA. If you're using ANA, it needs to be in a round trip fashion. You can book one ways on Delta though. But I would keep looking. That people look for that option, Poophead, because it's such a great option. Today is the 28th, so that 30% transfer bonus for American Express ends tonight. I would not prematurely transfer those out. This bonus does come and go, but I definitely would keep an eye out and book it when you find it. You can call and put the flight on hold, do that, but you keep looking. I would be looking today. Let's see. Jeff says, is the Hilton Aspire worth upgrading to from the Honors card I have, especially since I don't have the option now of getting any other bonuses? Jeff, I would say yes, with the caveat I would wait for an upgrade bonus from American Express. I would not upgrade without that bonus. This is a great way for you to get the bonus essentially for no hard pull, but I do think it's worth it. So that's definitely worth doing. Let's see. Hugo, why wasn't Ask Sebi on your previous video? Timing just didn't work out. I did reach out. I'll reach out in the next collaboration as well. Timing just didn't work out. Maybe in the future. I'm going out to San Francisco. Maybe I'll hook up with them, but maybe not. But I'll keep reaching out. Sebi's a busy man. You've seen him. You follow him on Instagram. If not, you should. Guys are traveling all over the place. Let's see. What about Bank of America? Samuel, that's what I was just saying. If the answer they would be really strong, the earning rates are good. If you're one of their preferred reward customers, it would be huge if Bank of America added people to the reward program, like transfers. I mean, they have Asiana, they have Alaska, they have Virgin Atlantic as well. Like that could just be huge if Bank of America really wanted to make a splash and jump into it, because they have great partners. Amtrak is good as well. And I know people might be like, what, Amtrak? But like Amtrak has some good transfer partners, some good transferability when you reach certain levels. So I think they have that co-branded credit card. So I definitely think if they were to, that would be huge. And Bank of America would be on my list to really jump into even more. Although I'm going to get a couple Bank of America cards in 2020. I'll explain why in a future video, but it's on my list. Let's see. Any updates on the PenFed Pathfinder card? Let's see. Oh, man, let's see. Why is it doing this? Sorry, let's see. Any updates on the PenFed Pathfinder card? I have 2 of the cards currently. Haven't gotten anything in mail yet on the changes or product changes or anything. Key, I haven't seen anything yet. I've actually been keeping a keen eye out for this one because I did like the Pathfinder when it was an American Express card. It looks to be going towards a Visa. When you look at the card, it begins with a 4, which is usually indicative of a Visa card. But one reason I liked it was the fact that it was one of the few cards that had travel protections like trip delay coverage, and it was no fee. I'm hoping they keep that benefit around because that is a huge benefit as a whole. Not very few cards give you like solid trip delay coverage with no annual fee. But I'll keep an eye out for that when it does come live or when it does come out with updates. I will have a video on that in the future as well. Let's see. Christine, as recommended, I got the United card and just received the club pass. I'll be flying out of JFK on ANA since they're both kind of use the United Club Lounge. Christine, you should be able to, are you flying business or economy? You should be able to use it on the outbound flight if you're departing from JFK. I think that should be allowed in doing that. Let's see. Mike still sounds good. Still some echoing. Let me change some of the gain real fast. All right. I'll turn the gain up a little bit more. Let me know if that's a little bit better. All right, let's see. American has been offering some fairly decent web specials recently. If the trade-off for dynamic pricing is web specials, then I'm significantly less chapped about it. Shamrock, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you on that, but it definitely is a double-edged sword, because while we see these great options, we also see options that have like 2 or 3 layovers, like with crappy time. So like it's a give and take. It works out well for you one minute, and next minute it's going to be nothing for you. So there's this kind of having those points in your account to just take advantage of the offers when they come, but just knowing that, this is the way it's going to be. If you want to utilize your points on American Metal, you might get a good option, you might not. Is really just the way we're going to see this thing. Let's see. Key, if you have American if a web special have status, can you make changes to book it later on? I don't believe so, Key. I believe once you book it, regardless of status level on American Airline on the web specials, that's it. I don't believe you can make changes even with status. Let's see. Louise says, hey, Dustin, do you know if you can product change the city dividend? I've heard of people having issues doing that, but I've still read a few data points where it's happening. But I believe for the most part, converting the dividend has ended. I'll also do a little bit more research on that, Louise. But I don't believe so anymore. I think it's getting a lot tougher, but I do believe some people have done it recently, just not as well, not as many people. Let's see. Also using Aspire, my main card to travel is in, let's see. Also using the Aspire as my main travel card with insurance next year, downgrading my Sapphire Reserve Prestige. Let's see. No more fast food cards, so irrelevant. Yeah, the only issue I have with the American Express travel protections is it's on round trip tickets. So like, for example, I booked on Delta on the way out and Southwest on the way home. I couldn't use my American Express #1 to use part of my credit on Delta because I wasn't going to get travel protections. And leaving New England in the wintertime really sucks. So you just never know what you're going to get. So I couldn't use it to get that travel protection. So like having the round trip restrictions, I think does hurt it. But with the Sapphire Reserve, you wouldn't have that. But I completely understand if you're someone who books round trip tickets consistently, it may not be a bad option. And you get pretty good travel protection from it as well. I might do a video comparing travel protections between some of these cards just because it is a common question of which card is better for travel protection. So I might just take the big players and compare them in a future video. Let's see. CJ says, I'm in college and I think there's a bad rep about the community against manufacturer spending. I obviously don't make money to meet the bonuses organically. I have good credit. I like the perks. What do you think of people? What do you think of people that MS? There are plenty of people who do that, CJ. There's nothing. It's getting harder, and banks are kind of like some banks are clamping down on this. One thing I would be cautious of, if you're a college student, your credit limits might not be super high. So if you're cycling credits, if you're maxing out and paying it off, maxing off and paying out multiple times a month, it's going to draw eyes to your account. So I would probably be pretty careful with that if that's the case. But what I would say for people who are looking to go this route is I would take it slow, not risk more money than what you're willing to lose. Because, for example, I stopped doing this when I lost $500 on a gift card with Serve a while back. So like I no longer do this. But go slow, find an option that works for you. And if you find an option, don't talk about it. Because for the moment you mention it to someone, it's going to go out to people, Reddit, Flyer Talk, Twitter, wherever, just even word of mouth. And that's how things get killed for people. So if you find an option that works for you, CJ, keep that to yourself. Do not mention it. That'd be my recommendation there for you. See, Charles, I'd love to see the Sapphire Reserve at 2 or 3x on gas. Some of us do a lot of travel by driving. Man, Charles, I agree. I think a lot of people would like that 2 or 3x on gas. That would be great. I see it more maybe happening to the preferred if they were to refresh this card, just because there's some good opportunities to really capitalize on what American Express does and basically make you pay extra annual fees for some of these benefits. And I've started slowly wondering, is it worth all those annual fees for those earning rates compared to either, the Dave Hansen model of no annual fees? Although I'm not completely on board with like no annual fees, but like, do sometimes people overvalue those cards and try to justify the credits and whatnot? would be an interesting topic to talk about. Let's see, Solid Liquid. What's going on, man? How you doing, Solid Liquid? JetBlue Plus card good for bonus. Check bag. MasterCard Elite benefits chip and pin. Absolutely. That World Elite MasterCard benefits such as cell phone protection is huge. I'm a big fan of that. Chip and pin is definitely undervalued, especially when you go to some of these countries like Europe, where it can save a lot of time traveling. Let's see. Sorry, I meant on the MPX app. When you use the gold card, okay, on the app there. So to go back to Key's earlier question, if you were, as long as it codes correctly, then yes, if you're using your gold card, you'll get 4x, and then you'll get whatever miles were coming through the MPX app or the MPX app. So if it was offering 3 points per dollar there for United, you would earn that. You'd earn 4x on the gold card as long as it coded correctly as restaurant. So that you would get that there. But yes, you would get your credit card spend in addition to the app, in addition to those United miles. Let's see, Chase adding 3x and CSP is all fine and good, but the fact remains that you can get 4x on gift cards with American Express or 5x with the ink cards. I agree with you. I think what they're looking to do is grab that main person who's not going to just buy gift cards or not look to do that. But I agree, if you have a gold card or the ink cash, you can get a lot of 5x on a lot of opportunities to begin with. Samuel asked, would I keep the Prestige right now past year one? Now that the double cash earns 2x, thank you points, I feel it's worth having a city setup alongside Chase and American Express, but the Prestige lost a lot of value this year. Yeah, Samuel, I would agree it lost a lot of value this year. The question I would ask myself is, how much are you spending on travel and how much, or airfare, and how much are you spending on dining? Because I think a really good city trifecta would be the double cash, the reward plus, and the premier, because the premier gets the access to the transfer partners the same way the Prestige does, but you get that 1.25 cents per point through the travel portal just in case something were to pop up. But I mean, that fourth night free benefit is pretty good, and the lounge access could be good as well. For me, it would not make it into year two just because I don't pay enough for airfare or for dining to justify that annual fee. For me, the Premier would be a card that more fits my lifestyle. Let's see. Shamrock says the only perk to having points and miles sitting elsewhere is the fact they can't be clawed back from a lender when they close your account for some strange reason. Yes and no, Shamrock. We've seen American Airlines, when they've closed people's accounts, cancel award tickets. So like if those American Airlines shutdowns, that was really sad to see people like on their trip only to find out their return ticket home was canceled, and that was really crappy on American Airlines' part. I get the whole mailer situation and people doing things, but like canceling it on the way home, like that is really rough, especially maybe you don't even know that till you go to check into the airline. In most situations, yes, if a membership reward does it, then you're not out anything, but we did see that there. It's the only. Why did I skip your question, Andrew? What question did I skip from you? Let me go back up real fast. I didn't see any question from you, man. Ask your question again, because I didn't see your question, Andu. Amandu, sorry, Amandu. Ask it again. I didn't see one there from you. All right. Let's see. It's recommended that you have roughly. It's recommended that you have roughly half your income as a credit limit for Chase personal business cards. How is this calculated for retirees that live on pension and 401k? I'm not exactly sure how that works. They might ask for more paperwork on how much you have it completely in your portfolio. If someone has information, be sure to let Ryan know. Leave me a comment down there. But they might ask for more paperwork. I think I had a buddy's dad have to do that when he was getting a new card. It's just kind of show how much money he had in investments, so it could justify getting a credit card with them. But I think that would be an option. Let's see. Okay, some discussions here. Let's see. David says, do you or anyone you know if away codes is travel on the green card? I'm about to use my away travel credit. I honestly don't know. I'm going to go with the fact of no, because it's not a travel. It's luggage. So I don't believe it would code as travel. to check that, what I would probably do is go to Award Wallet. They have a tool that you can look it up, and it'll kind of tell you what it should code as. That's one tip. Just because there's not a lot of options out there to help you do that, I would definitely check Award Wallet's tool. They have a merchant lookup tool that you can use. Let's see. Sean says, what's going on, Sean? How you doing? How would you book international flights with little children? I'm kind of leaning towards buying one award ticket and three, let's see, and the other three with 2 kids just paying cash. Thoughts? It depends on how much you're willing to spend, I guess, Sean. We travel internationally with my son. He's going to be a year old soon. But he's a lap infant, but when he gets his own seat, I'll use my miles because it still leaves me more miles. It leaves me more cash in my pocket to use for other flights or for other parts of the activities. But see, you could do if you're cash rich and points poor, you could do that. Or if you're points poor and cash rich, or points rich, cash poor, then I would look to use more points. But I guess it depends on what your point totals are. But point currencies are going to devalue only over time. Your cash is, more valuable in my opinion. Let's see. All right, some discussion. Let's see. Danovan. My prediction is Citi will add some more much needed upside value in the grocery supermarket category. Reviewing their cars, they offer that not at all amazing. Yeah, I would think if someone else can compete with American Express in the grocery market, it will be huge for them. Absolutely huge. Maybe Citi does that. I'm not exactly sure. It would be great if they were to do that. Maybe they revamp the Premier to do that to complement the Prestige. Maybe that's something we see in 2020, banks building on these more complimentary annual fee cards. Not exactly sure. Do you think Capital One will finally introduce their premium card in 2020? I think they could. I'm hoping the rumors they gave were wrong because I wouldn't be interested in whatsoever. I think it really needs to offer something different or unique to really compete in such a saturated market. There's just so much out there that if you're just going to kind of follow the same crap, why would I go with you? You'll be good for a bonus at most, but not long-term longevity for me. Let's see. Yeah, it would be fun at Bank of America. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. It would be fun if Bank of America included their cruise partners as transfer partners. That would be interesting, Samuel. And that would be definitely a game-changing move if it was at a good redemption value. Because no other program outside of just using your points as flexible currency through the portals allows you to transfer to cruise lines. And I know there are plenty of people who like to cruise, so this could be a great option. I like that idea. That would be fantastic. Let's see. Have you encountered issues when trying to book domestic Delta using Flying Club inside of 21 days of departure? I haven't booked anything inside of 21 days of departure with Flying Blue, so I haven't personally had any issues. I've priced them out online, and it shows just fine. But I can't say I have any personal experience because I typically do book my flights out a little bit more in advance. Champ, what's going on? Sorry, I'm late. Happy holidays. Champ, no need to apologize, man. Thanks for showing up. Happy holidays. Glad to see you here in the live stream. Let's see. Would love to see them add 2x or 3x of gas on the Sapphire Preferred, but they already let us carry. But they would have to let us carry both cards. Yeah, I think that's something, Charles, that David from Travel Explorer Click had mentioned in his part of the video the other day. They would have to change that rule. They would have to let us carry both cards. I think for Chase, it's actually a good move to let that happen because if you have 2 complimentary cards, people are spending more money. They make more money. We feel we're getting more value, maybe some more benefits. Everyone, it's a win-win. So they would have to change that, though. Let's see. David Hansen is pretty close in my mind, depending. Let's see. Ben says David Hansen is pretty close in my mind, depending on your spending. Credit Shooter made a video about it, but his grocery spend example, he didn't seem to factor in the 5% cost of having a no fee to having a grocery category card that could be used instead of Blue Cash Preferred, for the rest of the year use. Let me read that one. Sorry, I got to read it again. I'm using his grocery spend, for example, didn't factor in 5% credit in a factor no fee. So one thing I think that people tend to do is we always compare, right? And I know David Hansen's a no annual fee kind of guy looking at stuff. You know, and it's tough because if you're going to factor in all these cards, there's all these like small niche cards as well. And like the Blue Cash Preferred, he could do that, but if he's against annual fees for the most part, you know, he's not going to do it. Although, even if you did, this is one thing I would say, like, even if you were to max out that $6,000 a year on the Blue Cash Preferred, after you take into account that $95 annual fee, it's really like 4.4%. So it's a little bit better than the Blue Cash. Every day has no annual fee, but it could be good for some. Let's see. I'm gonna get 2 points for all. Let's see. So I would easily take 2 points for all in the Sapphire Preferred if they offer me currently have a reserve. If they allow me to have both. Yep, that'd definitely be something they would need to do. Thank you for stopping in, Fernando. I appreciate it. Have a great New Year's, man. You know, thank you so much for stopping in. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, they would have to let you have both, Charles. Definitely, that's something I think that Chase would definitely have to do. Let's see. What are your top rankings for American Express airline cards? Or I'm sorry, using the American Airline credit. I have 2 cards with this benefit. Really, Lionel, it's going to depend on which airlines you're going to use. You know, there's still some opportunities out there if you're spending smaller amounts on taxes and fees or award charges like Delta or Southwest. You know, it's crediting out to you. Outside of that, the airline credit is becoming more difficult to use from American Express. But really, it comes down to which airlines you use. Like for me, Delta has been great. It's getting a little bit harder to use in general. But you know, like for me, JetBlue would be like a wasted airline for me to choose, and so would Southwest being here in Bangor. But I would definitely take a look at which airlines you use. But Southwest, Delta, American could be good as well for some of those charges. Let's see. Dustin, I'm targeted for the 100,000 point from a platinum, but should I get the Charles Schwab version? Should I go for the regular version? Mike, you have a 100,000 point offer from American Express for the platinum card. You take that offer because 100,000 points is fantastic. But that being said, the Schwab card, you would still get the bonus for the Schwab card. They're considered different products. So you can get the bonus on the vanilla platinum card or the regular platinum and for the Schwab platinum. I know it's a lot in annual fees, but what I would say is right around that 1 year mark, you know, get rid of the platinum card and then get the Schwab card. That's what I would do there. But definitely 100,000 points. If I could get that, I would sign up for that today. Like that is worth it. But yeah, definitely go for it, man. You know, after this video, go sign up for that card. Let's see, Shamrock, what's your thoughts on travel protections with Citi cutting them completely and American was playing the only round trip booking? Thinking about buying an annual membership from Alliance. You know, I guess it depends on how much you travel, Shamrock. You know, for me, I can get it from a credit card. And for me, that's worth the annual fee on these cards to get it. But I don't think there's necessarily a reason to purchase it unless you're traveling, unless there's some extra benefit there for you. You know, even if you just had a Sapphire Reserve only meant to book travel, that saves you a lot for trip delay, you know, trip cancellation coverage. There's a lot of benefits there for you. So I value it living in the Northeast with snow happening all the time, you know, in the wintertime, in like the other 9 months out of the year. So for me, it's valuable. And you just never know when your flight's delayed. I've had flights canceled coming back from Europe twice where I've had to spend an overnight. Booked them on American Express at the time to use my credits and kind of was out points. So I had to use points to book a hotel room for the night, like as an emergency use. But had I used a card with travel protections, I would have been safe. So, you know, I do value travel protections quite a bit because I do travel, you know, 6 to 12 times a year in the ballpark. Let's see. What are your thoughts on double dipping the clear benefit before the end of the year and then again at the top of 2020? I think that's a great idea, David. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. You know, if you're playing by the rules and you can double or triple dip the credits, I'm all for it. You're just playing by the rules, man. Let's see. Do you still think the Chase quad factor will be valuable in 2020? Tracy, that is a fantastic question. Do I think it'll be valuable? Yes, but I think it's going to be valuable because of the 524 rule. You know, I am been vocal that the Chase trifecta or Chase points are losing their value because they're not doing anything to it. Partners are losing value. They're not adding anything to these cards, But the reason why we talk about it is because of the 524 rule. If you don't get your Chase cards, you're locked out of their cards. So will it be valuable? It'll be valuable for the sense that you're still going to get those cards before you move on. I don't necessarily think they're as valuable in the long term. You know, I think depending on how you travel, it really comes down to how you travel. I have a video coming out in a couple days about a different trifecta that could be great for the coach flyer. So keep an eye out for that. But I think it could be valuable, but not as valuable as people are going to make it. Let's see. Chase increases the reserve AM fee 500, 550. Left for 5x points in my opinion. Looks weak, 500 offering 3x. Casey, I don't disagree. They would need to do something different, but the flexibility and the extra value, I think what they're banking on. I mean, one thing Chase has going for it is the fact that programs are moving dynamic. People don't know how to use their damn points. Like it's getting harder for people to find award space. Premium cabin space is drying up. And you know, if you haven't, you know, like people look for a premium cabin space, like Spencer Howard, he's been on the channel a couple of times. He sends out award letters to people, newsletters and the emails to help you find it, because that's what he does. He finds this stuff and people can't do it on their own. Like it's so difficult to find space. He finds it for you. But as people look to use their points just to book their flights, the Chase travel portal is really becoming a better option than utilizing United miles for United flights, you know, for coach, Delta, the Navy Delta miles, JetBlue miles, Southwest miles, American Airline miles. You see where I'm going here? So if they're offering 3x, but you're getting a better return than using airline miles, they may or may not update anything. So I agree, though. I would like to see them update something. I'm not sure, though, I see Chase going 5x. That would be very, very ambitious. I would love to see it, but I'm not sure I'm sold on it yet. Let's see. Looking there. 5x dining and general travel is pretty good. It would be pretty good. It'd be interesting to see him do that, though. If he doesn't take the 100,000 points, I'll take it. I'm sure there's no lack of interest in that 100,000 points. Let's see. Some unique Chase. Casey, yeah, I think something that's unique that Chase could do is give the reserve out coupled with United or Hyatt Club access. That would be interesting to see them do. It offers them a different perspective, a different benefit that you can't get with other offers. Kind of like what you would like the Delta and the Sky Club Lounge, or give them some benefit maybe of Hyatt status, which would be good because you get, you know, benefits with the Platinum card and Hyatt and hotel status with Hilton and Marriott, which Marriott just sucks anyways, but Gold card is, let's see. I can't take YouTube doing this. Okay, I was Googling flights for 4 of us. 1 child below, the other 3 above. Seems like an award ticket would be charged at full price for the 3-year-old, cash for the 1-year-old. Yeah, so after the age of 2, for domestic flights, they have to have their own seat. You know, the lap infant, you pay depending on the program. It could be miles depending on the program. Other programs would be cash fare, 10% of the cash fare for them. You know, how many people have kids that travel? I'm actually curious about that, because I've thought about doing a video about best award programs for families with kids, just because, you know, I have a kid now, and other people have children that travel. So I'm not sure how many of you out there have children or are interested in a video like that. Just let me know. Let me know. I'd be happy to do it if people are interested in it. Let's see. Dustin, don't have the reserve. Don't want to play the round trip game with American Express. Currently booking airfare with my Ritz card since City cut it. Shamrock, the Ritz card offers great protections. It is that $100 airline credit or $100 discount to the Visa Travel Portal would be pretty good as well. That's a pretty good card. Zach, thoughts on the choice privilege point value? Is it worth it to transfer them? So Zach, I actually did a video on a full video on breaking down the point values for hotel programs, and Choice Hotels is one of them. I think it was more like anywhere from like 0.4 to 0.7 cents per point. You get really good value in Europe. You know, there's like a lot of good opportunities there in Europe and other parts. US not necessarily the greatest value. They have their quirks on how you can book, or how far in advance you can book. You have their co-branded credit card. It gives you a little bit more of a time frame, but they're not necessarily the most valuable program. They could be good for families, but definitely really good in situations like Europe. Um, um, but yeah, I would not be transferring my American Express points to them, with the exception of potentially an option in Europe if it is really, really good. But that is going to be that's going to be a very, very slim opportunity that actually happens, in my opinion, that I would do that. Um, let's see. I think I have a glitch on one of my annual fees. Actually premiered annual has a charge of $0 annual fee. I was never charged the annual fee. Casey, that's fantastic. I would keep that. I wouldn't even contact Chase about that. That is a great glitch if that is working for you. I would love to see a travel with kids video. I have 2 kids over the age of 2. Okay, I'll put this on the list, Samuel. I think that would be great. I know there are a couple programs that are more advantageous for families, especially for younger kids, than with, as a whole. I think sometimes that's overlooked, but a lot of people travel with kids, and if I could say, hey, use Aeroplan because it's only X number of miles as opposed to $200, that's great. Or Virgin Atlantic as well could be a better option. So I'll put that in there. Why the hate on Marriott? Just teasing. I'm very low to Marriott. It's not even that I hate Marriott. I just think they've really reduced the value and really destroyed a lot of that program. And with people being bon void and them just like not caring, really it's really disappointing to see, because they had so much potential with that program to do great things once they bought SPG. They've watered down they've watered down their benefits. Their reward charts are is fine. But I just feel like the customer service side and their IT department has been a big failure, and they don't really seem to acknowledge it as much as more so it's okay. We're like it's almost like we're too big for people to care about. People will use us regardless because there's a Marriott in every street corner, which I guess they're not wrong, right? Let's see. Sean says, let's see. Sean says, I'd do the video on award booking kids. Love to check it out. Okay, I'll add that one to my list. Let's see. Been out of the loop for a while. What was the case with straight shutdown? How that was a couple reasons. One, there was some links sent out or like a glitch, if you will, from Chase. People were applying for a bunch of cards that were pre-approved for the just for you offer. So Chase went through some of those cards and shut some of those people down. But yeah, they were super, super over 524 in doing that. But most people who were abusing the game are abusing it hard. Like some of these hard people abusing it, the banks are coming after. They don't really. I don't think they're worried about the person who's like, oh, I'm at like 5 or 624, and I've got this card. Like I don't think they're coming if you applied for one. But like people, there was one thing. Who was it? What Facebook group or Reddit? Someone applied for like 15 different ones they were pre-approved for, and like they got shut down, and they're like wondering why. Like, well, they're no crap. I can tell you why you were shut down. Let's see. Do you have any store cards? Best Buy, IKEA, Ebates. I have the Target Red card. That is, I think, the only store card I had. I used to have the Best Buy credit card when I was in college before I really knew much more about this, and I actually closed it, which is a mistake now knowing that. But that's the only store card I have is the Target Red card. And I know some people are like, why do you have the credit card? You can get the debit card. But back when Target was breached, one thing I always told people was the fact that it was linked directly to your checking account. So if my money was taken from my Target Red card because it was stolen, it was stolen. It's coming out of my checking account. And so it was worth the hard pull to me to get the credit cards. I shop at Target enough to give myself the protections to where if my Target credit card number is stolen, I really don't care. I'm not at fault for it. But my checking account, has my money, and I can't be like, hey, bank with my mortgage, like I have to pay it later because all my money was stolen. Like it's not going to sit too cool with them on that. So that's why I have the Target Red card credit card. Let's see. Dustin, did you have any shutdown for Chase or American Express? I did not get shut down, but I'll tell you, I've lost a lot of sleep about American Express shutdowns. I don't abuse the system in the sense of what they were looking for, but I'm definitely not a profitable customer for them. So I have thought of the fact that eventually they will come for me because I use my cards typically for my American Express offers. That's pretty much it, or the benefits. So like I have like I have like 400,000 little less membership reward points. So I need to burn those just in case I wake up one day and I'm shut out. But I haven't been shut down as of yet. Let's see. Being honest, the risk of being hated. I'm happy that Marriott changed the status is handled. America's just giving gold just for the platinum was getting crazy. Yeah, you know, the benefits being given away for having a credit card, I think, irritates some people, especially if they're road warrior Shamrock. But you know, Marriott Gold isn't really great status, so you know, I just don't necessarily think it's great on that end. Let's see. Let's see. Can I do a step-by-step video where you transfer points from a credit card to a transfer partner? Have you search for reward availability with the transfer partner, such as using American Airlines website for First or Qantas only? Chris, I actually have a lot of videos where I walk through the award booking process, but I haven't. I mean, I did one for like transferring points out from Ultimate Rewards to people to their programs, but doing one for an award booking demonstration I could do. But I did have some for American Airlines and using Qantas as well. But I'll make sure to do something like that, try to use Qantas on award booking demonstrations as well. Ebates is a good MR earning card. It is a good MR earning card, but basically any membership reward earning card is fine for that. And like the Blue Business Plus at 2x, you know, I think unless you're shopping a lot on Ebates. Then you go, how about the booking? Yeah, I could look into something like that, Chris, on my next award booking demonstration. Let's see. What's going on, David? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Everyone, if David here from Travel Explore Click is in the chat. If you haven't checked out his channel, be sure to check it out. David puts out some great content on credit cards as well. He was just in our collaboration the other day or yesterday, talking about the Sapphire Preferred. So thanks for joining in, man. Let's see. Share markets upgrade a lot more now than ever, part of the change. Let's see, I'm upset about it. Yeah, I think anytime there's a change where people lose their status levels or, you know, don't get the same value and benefits they used to, people get upset about that. That just happens all the time in general. I mean, that's part of the game. You gotta adapt. Let's see. Ebates is probably the best store card right now. It's a very good store card without a doubt. It just depends on your shopping habits. What about the Amazon card? Christian, the Amazon card is okay. There's ways to getting good Amazon value without getting the Amazon card. I did a video on that a couple weeks ago on the best cards for Amazon. And like outside of Amazon, you have like the Ink Cash, the US Bank Cash Plus. You have the membership reward point cards that you can use discounts on as well. So they're good, but I necessarily wouldn't waste a hard pull on an Amazon card unless I was spending a ton of money there. But that's just me. Let's see. I panicked even though I haven't anything wrong. So I moved my 70,000 to Delta. That's a rough one. I don't necessarily know if I would be prematurely moving points. There have been data points showing if you were shut down, you have some time. But, you know, definitely find a program that works for you to where you know if you needed to move them, where you can move them to. Any hotel predictions for 2020? You know, Chase doing peak off peak, or Hyatt doing peak off peak. I do think we see Hyatt make another change of devaluations with their award chart. You know, they're just so valuable that even if they were to devalue their points, they're still going to be pretty valuable. End of story. But if they do that, Chase gets hurt even worse. You know, IHG has been linked to going more dynamic, like Hilton in their award stuff or in their awards. We haven't seen that yet. I don't believe I haven't seen that in searching. But I think that could happen in 2020. And I'm curious what Marriott does if they do anything to improve the program or further reduce the value of their points. Because I think roughly they're worth like 0.8 to 1 cent per point, which is still pretty good for a hotel program. But we'll have to see if they update anything. Let's see. Where do I sign up for the award demonstration? Sean, actually in the description of this video towards the bottom, I think there's a link. If not, check out the website, you know, wallerswallet.com. There's a link there for award booking demonstration requests. Put in all of your requests. I try to do stuff a different one each time just because at one point I had like a bunch of Hawaii requests, which is super awesome. Hawaii is a great destination. But if I only did Hawaii demonstrations, I don't think people would tune in as much. You don't have to use Qantas. I'm just new to this. Even though I've watched 30 hours of video, I'm still lost. You're a venture card holder, chasing next, maybe the reserve. Love the channel. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the kind words. Be sure, yeah, Chris, be sure to check out if you haven't already. I do the award booking demonstrations where I really try to walk through piece by piece and explain the thought process on how to book awards. And I've only done one this month. I usually do twice a month, and I'll pick that back up in 2020. But definitely, the award booking side is, I would say, is harder but more important than the earning side. But definitely take it slow. Learn a program or two you're going to use. You're not going to get great value at first, and build on that knowledge. Take it in chunks, but the more you take that, the better off you're going to be. It's a very steep learning curve for award travel, but there's a lot of resources out there. But I have the award booking demonstrations, and hopefully we see more YouTubers get into the award booking side. But as I said earlier, I don't think the clicks are there for a lot of people to do it. I was approved for the American Amex Sky Mile, but applied for the Blue Preferred. It went to pending. Called, taken care of, still pending. Blue card pending, can I still apply for it? So, Aaron, I did a video on this as well. Man, I'm just plugging these things, right? On American Express application rules, you can get 2 cards in the same day for the same hard pull. 1 charge card, 1 credit card. What you did is that you applied for 2 credit cards on the same day. So it's going to go to pending. You can get 2 credit cards in a 90-day period, and you need to wait, I believe it's 5 days between credit card applications. So you could do a charge card like the gold card, platinum card, green card, and get it. But you can't get 2 credit cards on the same day unless something has changed. Let's see. As long as one of them don't go crazy, Amazon gift cards from grocery stores even. Yep, I agree, Shamrock. That's a pretty good one then. Edgar, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the kind words. How's the weather in Miami? I'm sure it's better than it is here. I think it was barely above freezing today. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support, man. Would I upgrade my gold card to the platinum card if I'm offered 60K? I have an offer. I dislike the platinum cards so very much. One, I would say, have you had the card in the past? If you have had the card in the past and they've upgraded this for you to get the bonus, I think it could be worth it. If you haven't had the platinum card before, then I would say no, because you can go private browser and find 70, 75,000, 100,000. We've seen people even be targeted for 125,000 points. So I would say no to upgrading if you haven't had it before. If you don't like the card, there's no reason to get it. Sure, 60,000 points is great. It would be worth it for that. But, if you're looking outside of that, you would need to keep it. But I would definitely, that would be my statement on that one there. Let's see. Thank you. What do you think of using Juicy Miles to book award flights? So I looked into Juicy Miles a while back. I think it's great for people who maybe want to pay the premium for that service. Who want to pay the premium for that service. If you're willing to put the work in for yourself and find it for yourself, then it's going to be, I think, better. And the reason why I say better, it's going to be harder. And I don't know how Juicy Miles algorithm works. I don't know how the algorithm works, but its programs move dynamic. We're seeing this already with Award Hacker and how it helps with the searching, but it's hard for them to actually get the prices for dynamic pricing because they change. Delta flash sale, 5,000 miles today, 12,000 miles tomorrow. So I'm not sure how they're going to be able to figure in these dynamic pricing, but it can make it a little bit easier for people who don't necessarily want to dig deep. So, wow, thank you so much, Christine, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, Juicy Miles could be good for someone who maybe is a novice at it. Maybe doesn't want to maybe just doesn't want to spend the time. I get it. There's a lot of time going into these things for award booking stuff, and they take care of a lot of that for you. But I'll be curious how they move forward with the dynamic pricing issues. So let's see. Shamrock's tried them. Let's see. RB, thanks for the vids. Learning a lot from you. Any thoughts on Aviator or MasterCard sustainability after the first year? Is it similar to the one you got from Barkley? So RB, that is a great question. If you're someone who flies AA a lot, like the check, you want the free check bags, the priority boarding, it could be worth it for you. There's a lot of benefits in that sense for you. If you're not the typical AA flyer or spend a lot of time flying AA flights, I'm not sure it's worth it for you in the long term. I've had a couple of requests asking to compare the City AA card to the Barkley AA card for long-term use. So maybe I'll throw that on my list of things to do. But it's good for the bonus if you fly AA frequently. I think it could be worth that fee just for the fact if you're someone who checks a bag, that benefit alone could be really good. It did take a hit in value when they got rid of that 10% rebate on miles. That made it really good for people. But that as a daily spender, unless you're, I don't know if I use it as a daily spender though. Let's see, a lot of their info isn't up to date, doesn't always show the accurate availability. That's kind of my thought on there. Joseph made it, sorry I'm late. Hope we had a Merry Christmas. Hope we have a Happy New Year. My parents, so I can't stay long. Joseph, thank you for dropping in, man. Glad to see you in the chat. Hope you had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year's as well. Just, spending time with family is super important. So I appreciate you just taking a few minutes out of your evening to drop in. I do appreciate that. What is the MPX app? So Samuel, the MPX app is a United, it's a United app, if you will, where basically you can purchase gift cards and earn United miles instantly. So here, I don't even know, let me see if I can get this up on my, I don't have it on my phone yet, this phone. But you purchase basically gift cards, Starbucks, Applebee's, a ton of stuff. Holy crap. Thank you, Joseph, so much for that super chat. That is super generous of you. Merry Christmas to you as well, man. Thank you so much. That is wow. Thank you so much. But Samuel, it is the United app where you can earn United miles. It was a great way to reset your United miles from expiring, but now they no longer expire. But it's a great way to double or triple dip into ways of earning stuff. So check it out. Definitely worth doing if you're someone who wants to earn United miles pretty easily. Let's see. I think City's underrated as a program. It's not just one bonus roll that sucks. After the bonus, you're relying on category spend. Yeah, I like City. I think as a whole, I think it's pretty good. It's definitely undervalued. I think they have good transfer partners. I think their transfer partners for airlines are actually better than Chase. Would it be a good idea to upgrade to the reserve to the prefer to the reserve after the first year? Christian, it all depends on your travel habits. If you travel a lot and you want the better protections instead of 6 hours, instead of 12 hours for travel delay. See, the travel delay, or the lounge access, the 1.5 cent per point value. If you're only using the card just to transfer out, maybe not, or if you have cards already with overlapping benefits. But if you're looking for those extra benefits, I would think so. How many points do you guys get for those super chats? Oh man, that's let's see. So Shamrock, this is a good question, Shamrock. As dynamic pricing continues to surge forward, do you have a breaking point in which you think cashback will become a priority over points and miles? That is very interesting. I actually have thoughts on that. I've thought about doing a video on it, but quickly thought of, I think it could for the coach flyer. Now I use this loosely because point bonuses are always are better than cashback bonuses. But the long-term use and the long-term earning ability could shift. We're seeing that already with cashback equivalents. By using cards and redeeming to the travel portals, look at the number of airlines already. United, you're going to get better value than probably flying United, unless it's one of those through their sales. On American Airlines, Southwest, JetBlue, Delta, possibly Flying Blue flights as well. These number of airlines are slowly expanding that these travel portals are being better. So it depends on it depends how you travel. If you're a premium class flyer, then points still probably take the lead for you. But if you're an economy flyer, I do think we're hitting that point where slowly the long-term benefit to cashback cards could outweigh the long-term the point earning potential. Don't think we're there quite yet, but I think we're getting close as more programs move that way. Especially if you're not looking to use the alliance partners. But see, I get 1.5 cents per point, or 1 point per 1 point on my super chats. I haven't. Let's see. Depending on the person who asked, can you buy multiple gift cards to meet minimum spend? Could you? Yes. I wouldn't do it with American Express. With like Citi, you can. Chase, you can. A lot of banks will let you do that. Wouldn't do it with American Express though. Find myself looking more at the thank you point portal and trying to transfer to airline. Shamrock, if you're doing that, what I would say to do is look at cards that earn cash back compared to the price. The thank you point portal can be inflated at times, so check that out compared to check that out compared to the cash price of the ticket. So, if you're using the portal, a cashback rotation long term might not be bad for you. You're going to forego bonuses and have maybe smaller bonuses, but it could be worth it in the long term. And cashback is great. Like, you can't use your Chase Sapphire Reserve points on Spirit Airlines. Not saying all of you using Spirit Airlines, but if you're someone who have access to it and there's super cheap flights, from my understanding, I don't think I've seen it in a while where you can use those there. So it gives you more flexibility for some of these lower cost options. Just something to think about. Charles, careful with U.S. Bank from as well, from what I hear. U.S. Bank, if you're buying electronic gift cards, it could be an issue. U.S. Bank has their pros and cons. I like them as a whole, but they've disappointed me. I'll probably finish that video up in the next day or so and schedule that out about how they failed me. My altitude reserve, my trusty altitude reserve just really let me down the other day. Let's see. Is airline status practically dead for us mortals who don't fly business purposes? It depends on who you ask. I know some people do mileage runs. It depends. I think unless you're using points to fly it, I don't know if I'd personally do mileage runs for it unless you fly a lot for business. But it's just getting so hard now. It's more linked to money spent as opposed to flying. So money talks. Let's see. When is your 2020 prediction video coming? Hip to the dip. He was on the collaboration the other day, but I don't know if he's doing a separate video. Let's see. I'll take a couple more just because I'm going to get going here in a few minutes just because it's coming close to an hour and a half. So let's see. I'll take a few more questions. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The perk I'm seeing with Travel Portal over transferring is that while the value is lower, I can go where I want when I want. The airline opens up space. And that's true. Yeah. Like, it just gives you, it's basically using your points as cash. So if you're doing that, you're essentially using your points as cash anyways. I asked you about the, oh no, not the altitude reserve. What happened in a sentence or two, maybe. I'm going to leave that for the video because it's, I think it'll give more context, but disappointed in them, to say the least. That would be there. Chase Sapphire Reserve, altitude reserve video anywhere? Yes, Peltwork, I do have that. If you look in the videos, it was actually not too long ago. I did compare the reserve to the altitude reserve. So definitely check that. I did do that video not too long ago. Let's see. I'm starting my daughter early. She's watching me right now. Hey, Charles' daughter, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Learn all you can about points and miles because they're fantastic. Let's see. Mike says great stuff. Keep it up. Thank you, Mike. Thoughts on American Express adding travel protections for trip delay? Do you see them adding more in 2020? I think it's a great step in the right direction for them. Mike, I'm not too pleased in the fact that it is round trip required. Could they add more? I'd like to see them update this to be eligible on one-ways as well. And I think it would be great. I do think it's a step in the right direction for them, and people are overall happy with it because it's been a missing benefit for a long time. Hi, Samantha. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. And hello to you as well. Let's see. Jason, what's going on? Hey, I got 2 American Express cards, Thanksgiving week. Can I apply for a business card with them today, or should I wait? Thanksgiving week, that was over a month ago. So if they were, did you get 2 credit cards or a charge card and a credit card? You can get 2 credit cards in a 90-day period. So if both were credit cards, you need to wait. If one was a charge card, one was a credit card, you can get a credit card now if you wanted to. Champ, that's a loaded question. How would you book an approach family of 8 of a holiday trip? Earn your own miles or use cash, make everyone Venmo you? I guess it depends on how much you like them. Thank you, Champ, for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Wow, thank you so much. And I'm super stoked for 2022. Like, I'm hoping for some big things on the channel. Looking to, dig deeper into some credit card stuff and award travel stuff, trying to really bring some extra value to people. But to answer your question, for 8 people, I guess it depends on how many points you have and how much you really like them to burn your points. But if you are going to burn your points for it, it might be advantageous to look to split people up because it can get really hard to find 8 award seats on an airline. So Might be worth splitting the group up into 4 and 4, or 3, 3 and 2. Do something along that way. Let's see. Let's see. I think a lot of. Wow, thank you, Shamrock, for the super chat as well. Wow, you guys are super generous tonight. You guys are. Thank you all so much for the support. This is great. Thank you so much. Let's see. I think a lot of general consumers look to use portals to book economy. We're in a niche of transferring points to partners of business class in general. I think that's the thing, Casey. The general person, and I think most people in this channel who I really kind of gear my channel towards is the economy flyer. I've posted polls in the past, and most people fly coach. So I can tell you how to book business class flights, and I do that. But most people fly coach, and I try to show that to people. So while and a lot of the videos I'll just mention coach tickets unless it's a specific business class need. Her name is AJ. Why, hello, AJ. Thank you for tuning in with your dad tonight. I appreciate it. Sorry, late. Love your videos. Have the preferred since April, but want to go reserve. When can I do that? You would, if you got in April, Nadia, you would need to wait till April to do so. You need to wait till the 1 year mark to upgrade that bad boy, and then you're good to go. Let's see. Should I give a lot to us? Things. Without all of you here, Shamrock, this channel wouldn't be what it is. So I much appreciate each and every one of you as a whole. So, I think we're a little less hour and a half mark. So, this is probably where I'll call it. But I want to thank all of you for a great 2019. The channel it wouldn't be what it is without all of you. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time, watching the channel, supporting the channel, asking your questions, just being part of this community, really trying to grow like a welcoming community here, not one that's, sarcastic or difficult for people. Because I always, people are renewing this game at all one point in time, myself included. So I just want to try to be a resource for people to kind of get their feet into the game and learn how to take their families to travel. That's something I really am passionate about. So, wow. Thank you, Casey, too, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, like I said, have a great New Year's. I am super stoked what 2020 is going to bring. I'm excited. 2020 is going to be great. I think it's going to be great to see what happens in the credit card space. I think we're going to see an array of stuff happen early 2020 with credit cards. So I'm really looking forward to that. But have a great New Year's, everyone. I will see you all very shortly. We'll pick the live streams up back in 2020. But safe travels. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one.